It's 11 there, right?
It is.
11:05.
It's 8 here, so I'm like, you already got a tennis shot today?
Well, thanks for getting up and early with us today. I
Oh,
appreciate it.
I'm up early. This is like normal time for me. I just was like, oh, people already lived their lives today. That's crazy.
Yeah, I actually was on my way to the doctor and I was like, it was like I had to be there a little before 9. I was like, man, if I could just like get up and get out of the house on time, like early, I feel like I'd have so much time in the day, but I really don't. And
It's
I
a
hate
game
getting up
changer.
early.
Oh, I love it. When's
Not
your
me. No.
But you're pregnant right now, right? So, and do you have you have a little one, don't you?
Yeah, I have a 3-year-old and I am due in the middle of October with my second boy.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's why. Do you have kids?
I do, and they're fully grown. Well, I shouldn't say fully grown. They're 15 and 11. So they are self-sufficient. I don't have to cook them breakfast. I don't have to do anything. Like it's actually glorious. Like I did that whole like early morning thing for many years and I'm just so glad that it's done.
Well, you relax if you want to. I feel like I feel like because I have a baby on the way, I've been like very much. So I had my first baby in July of 2020. So right when the world was like kind of shut down. And then our market went absolutely crazy here. And
Mhm.
we did like 84 transactions. And it was just so crazy that I felt like I was just trying to breathe for 2 years. Like I couldn't keep my head above water. So I feel like because I have a baby on the way, I'm like, get up early, work on your business, get things done. Like I'm trying to
Yeah.
get everything ready to go before life changes again. So
Yeah, it's going to be a new endeavor for you, that's for sure. Well, let's get started with things. We have about 12 on the call right now, so I wanted to bring up your little bio so I could read it. Well, first I'll just say I am so excited for Molly to be on. I came across your profile semi recently and I found myself saving like every one of your posts. And I was like, I am so obsessed. I know I told Emily and I think I told Maria, I was like, I am just so obsessed with her right now. Like, I am following everything she's doing. I'm loving all this stuff. I bought your course. I have like all of the pages printed out. Oh, they're right here. Like all the stuff printed out to like do the business planning and all that stuff. Like I just love all the stuff that you're doing. So I reached out, I wanted to, see if you'd be willing to hop on here because I think what you're doing right now is super important for people who are kind of things are slower. This is the perfect time to really dig in. And I feel like what you were saying. So I'm going to read your bio that you gave us and I think it really does make a lot of sense for a lot of people. So you're a Phoenix realtor. So I'm just going to read what you said. Molly's a Phoenix realtor who recently found herself in a business lull after 8 years in the industry. She and her husband use this as their motivation to rebuild and perfect a business that they truly enjoy and thrive in. She specializes in making their buyer and seller experience top notch and found passion helping others in the industry by helping them grow and providing the steps. And I see that like through and through. Like one, I think North and Co has an amazing brand. Like I was just showing Maria for our office. I was like, I absolutely love everything that they're doing for their branding. It's so spot on. Your branding is spot on. And then like all the things that you're doing and providing for other agents, I just think is so helpful and like it's such a resource. So one, thank you, keep doing it please because I need more ideas and more things. So love it.
of course, yes. So I'll just intro and then I figured I'll kind of just go through what I preach in the guide that I made. Because I feel like it connects with so many people and I feel like we all kind of feel the same. I get messages from agents like every day and everyone's like, yep, that's exactly how I feel. So I started 8 years ago. My husband and I are a team. We really built our business on like flipping houses and being like kind of like the Chip and Joanna Gaines of our market. We did retail, like regular buyers and sellers also. And then business kind of went crazy over the last 2 years. Well, let's say it kind of slowed down in May here, probably similar to everybody else's market. But slowed down, took a much needed break from just the craziness of real estate. And then I just found myself kind of like waiting, like, okay, I'm ready to get back into it. Like, when are people going to start calling me to buy and sell like they had the last 2 years? Because the last 2 years I felt like my phone just rang and people wanted to buy and write offers and sell. And it was so crazy. I really didn't do any I didn't do any lead generation. We couldn't even handle the leads that we had. And so I found myself just like sitting there waiting for someone to buy and call me to buy or sell. And so I did that for like 2 months. And I was really, I don't know if you're a busybody like me, but like not being productive felt really gross to me. Like I just was like depressed almost. And I was like, maybe this isn't what I want to do anymore. Maybe I want to go get like I don't know. I just was not into it. And so my husband and I really like took time. We started all the way back from square one and then decided to kind of like, okay, like it's time to put a plan into action. It's time to put a plan in place. We can't just sit around and wait anymore. That's clearly not working if we want to make real estate our full-time career like it's been for the last 8 years. So we did that. And I feel like I found so much clarity in rebuilding and motivation that I was like, and all that I would hear from other people is that they feel the exact same. So I don't know if you guys feel that way, but everybody's just kind of like, okay, this market is really boring. My buyers aren't really buying. My sellers are selling, but it's kind of a weird market. Like, what do I do to be productive? So with that, I went through all of these steps of rebuilding my business. And then I kind of put it into like a process that I could help other people go through too. So I made a guide. I sell it on my Instagram, but I figured we'll just kind of go through it with you guys if that's what you think would be of benefit. And just kind of walk you through, if you're in a rut, what was important to me in starting over, what was important to me in finding my motivation. So I'm going to share my screen. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I think my I don't know why.
Oh no, more issues.
Oh, here we go. Sorry. No, it just
All right, there we go. And if your Canva is anything like mine, things are going to go really slow when you start pulling it up.
Yeah. Let me pull up my chat really quick too so I can see chat.
Well, so if you don't want to have to follow along with the chat, what I'll do is if anyone asks questions or anything, I'll just stop you at and ask questions for you so you don't have to try and keep track of both.
That would be perfect. Because I can never figure out how to have my chat up too.
No, you're totally fine. We'll handle that for you.
Cool. Okay, yeah, just let me know. I'm happy to answer questions as we go. So I just explained the whole backstory of everything. But when I like kind of found my motivation back, I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. But like, what's next? I would go to post on social media and I'd be like, no one cares. Like, what? This isn't me. No one cares. Who am I talking to? Or I would be like, okay, I'm ready to lead generate. And I was like, well, I just don't really feel like I know who I'm talking to anymore. And so I realized it was because so much had changed in my life from when I felt really consistent in my marketing and my branding. And that I really needed to take a step back and dig into my brand. And I say me a lot because Jared's not sitting here with me, but it's my husband and I, so our brand. But I feel like I always start to use the word I and me. And so just if I do that, I'm actually talking about both of us together. But so I figured I really needed to dig into like, who are our ideal clients? Who do we typically work with? What even is our brand? What is our brand message? Like, who are we? And so we sat down and we like on a piece of paper wrote out who our target audience is, who we're marketing to, where those people are, who are we now? And I realized that like, okay, probably the reason why I'm having a hard time connecting with people is because I didn't really know who I was trying to connect with. And I didn't really know what my message was anymore. So if you go on, like, I think social media is a really good example of that. If you're going on social media and you're just like, I know I need to post, maybe I'll post about home buyer tips. Or like, I know I need to post, maybe I'll post about a house today. And you just feel like there's no strategy or there's no like end goal to it. It's probably because you're not very clear on your brand and who your target audience is. So that was the first thing that we did, was dig into our brand. And that's when I talked to other agents who need a little bit of help kind of going through this also. That's what I asked them. Who are you marketing to, basically? Because I feel like the majority of lead generation and what our business is just marketing to your people. So I also feel like something really important to touch on is your brand is the most amazing thing about being in real estate, is that you can be exactly who you are and attract your people. And I feel like a lot of times what we think we need to do in real estate is be like other people who are successful. And I feel like that's the worst thing that you could do in this industry. Figuring out what makes you unique, what makes you special, who your people are, why people gravitate towards you, and turning that into like a marketing and business is what we've done and what I recommend everyone to do, because selling yourself is way easier than selling some like made up version of who you think you need to be. So here's just a couple questions that we asked ourselves when we were rebranding. This is what I usually typically tell people to ask themselves too. Digging into yourself like is not a 5-minute thing. I would really take a day and sit down and start to think about like just all the important things that you would want to portray to your ideal clients and your ideal clients that you would want to attract. If you feel a little lost, so I feel like what I realized was when I was stuck is like, I don't know what product I'm selling. And so if you feel that too, it's probably because you're unclear on your brand. So really think about yourself as like, what product do I sell? And I feel like a good example of that is getting really specific, like, okay, I'm going to focus just on one target audience. So I really only sell, the product I sell is like, let's say, people who are just moving to my state, or people who are just buying fixer-uppers, or people who are just targeting new build communities. Like figuring out that will make everything else very easy. So in my guide, I give you just like a brand board where you could kind of start to fill out just like a vision board. You could do this on regular paper. You don't have to do it. You can just kind of brainstorm. I really just brainstormed on a piece of paper in my office. But in my guide, I give you all the templates to do it. And then something else that I figured out once I was going through my rebrand was that I really wasn't showing up consistently across platforms. So that was something that I just felt like I was like a Canva. I was like 16 Canva templates just everywhere. Like my flyers were this, something else was that. So once I figured out who I was, I thought, okay, let's make this consistent across all platforms. So within this, it's just giving you tools to be a brand, basically. But then also going through and making sure you're showing up consistently, like everywhere. So I looked at my Google profile and it was my old last name and it was a headshot from 10 years ago. I looked at my Zillow profile. They were just all so different. So I give you a checklist to go through just to make sure you're showing up consistently once you have kind of your brand figured out. Then with that, so I thought, okay, if I'm going to try and rebuild all of this, I should really look at, instead of recreating what hasn't, like, recreating the wheel, I should look at what has currently worked in my business. So I actually went back through every transaction that we've ever closed in 8 years. And I just kind of like audited it. And I said, okay, where were my leads coming from? Where are they coming from now? Where are my closings coming from? And then I really focused on the last year and the last 2 years. So if you're a new agent and you don't have sales and you're going to go through your auditing your business, if you don't have sales, you can kind of think of it as like, where are my organic conversations happening already? Or where am I like organically meeting people that I have, that I feel like I could connect with about real estate. But if you've closed things, I want you to seriously take every single closing that you've had over the last year or 2 years and just mark where they've come from. So social media, farming my area, Facebook group that I made, whatever it is, because the most logical way to build is to look at what's working for you and also to look at what's not working for you. So I thought, I should just really dig into social media. That's where all of my business came from. when I looked at this stuff, I was like, actually, all of my business now comes from past client referrals from people who originally came from social media. But if all my closings are coming from past client referrals, I should really make sure that that's a pillar of my lead generation or a pillar of the way that I'm keeping in touch with people. So you can go through your business also, and I would just suggest doing the same thing. This is just kind of within my guidebook. I'm just saying track where everything's coming from, look at where your past sales are coming from, goal plan, write out your goals. This is super important. I think for me, if I have goals that are like in front of me, it's a lot easier to hit those goals or to remember what your goals are and why they're important to you.
Yeah. I'm in here listening to this. Your lead gen series. Now that we look at your brand.
Am I? Oh, that's weird. I think that person is muted now, but and then so that brought me to like the next chapter and everything. So I looked at who we currently were in our business and where our closings were coming from. And I thought those two things were the best way to rebuild. So figuring out your lead generation strategy, I don't know if that's something that a lot of people struggle with, but I feel like what I hear typically from agents is like, I don't know how to find new clients, or should I just had a conversation with someone yesterday and they're like, I'm sending out the same mailer to my area, like the area that I live in, once a month. Like, do you think I should keep doing that? And my question to her was, well, let's go back to your brand and then where your past clients are coming from. And she was like, well, I've closed from referral and I've closed my brand. I really want to focus heavily on new build. And I was like, then I probably wouldn't just be mailing randomly to my neighborhood if that wasn't really a lead generation plan that I was going all in on. And if that didn't really align with where I wanted to go and where I was already closing deals from. So I hope that kind of helps it make a little more sense. But basically, like, I feel like a good way to describe this is, say you were focusing on, say your target audience was, you wanted to help seniors who were downsizing, which would be a great target audience right now. You wouldn't really just be like posting on social media to find those people. You'd really want to look at like, where are those people consuming their marketing? Where are they spending their time? Who's making decisions for them? And then you would want to come up with a strategy based off of that. So what I like to do in my business is just pick one or two. So if, say, again, senior, this is a kind of a weird example, but if senior citizens are your, like, people who are downsizing is your target audience, then you're like, okay, that's for now, in the beginning, those are the only people I'm marketing to. Or you can have two subcategories, but say you just really wanted to focus in on that, which is what I recommend. You're going to say, okay, well, those people probably aren't social media, still do social media to connect with other people, but just for this example, like, those people are probably maybe they're like visiting care centers, and I could go every Saturday and bring ice cream or donuts to those places. Or maybe they are showing up to home seller classes where they want to know about like protecting their assets and selling a home. And so you could pick whatever your strategy is and then just really start to build off of that. But I feel like where you get lost a little bit is like, okay, I need to be on social media. I need to be sending mailers. I need to be doing a farm area. I need to do open house. Like, I need to do all these things to be productive. And I feel like choosing one or two things that you can really commit to is so much more productive. And then building from there. I just give you a couple examples of different ways to lead generate. Most of these are just pretty self-explanatory. Then this is kind of the page that I'm talking about, picking one primary lead generation. So like, okay, for me, it's going to be doing home seller classes, or it's going to be social media, and then coming up with, after that, like the actual action items of what you're going to do to make those goals happen. And then something that really changed things for me was figuring out that I just committed. I said, if you're new in this industry, this is not like, let's give it 6 months and see how it goes. This is now your 5-year business plan. And if you start to think that way, everything feels a lot better. So if you've like had a buyer and then they've decided, oh, I'm gonna wait a year and you're crushed, it's because you're thinking very transactionally. And so what I decided I was going to do is I was gonna think like everything is a business now. So like big businesses don't care if you don't buy their product right there. They put you on their email campaign, they market to you, they like it's a long-term plan for most businesses. And I feel like in real estate, we get very transactional. And I feel like that's something that's really held me back and kept a lot of money out of my pocket also, was saying, okay, you're not going to buy this year. Shoot, that sucks. I better go find another buyer. Versus saying, okay, you're not going to buy this year. That's amazing. I'm so glad that you made that decision for yourself. I have all the back end like systems in place to keep in touch with you and make sure I put you on my email list so you're getting value from me there. You're in my database with a task to follow up. I'll invite you to my client event still. I'll do all these things. You're still my client. You're just now feeding my family maybe next year, the year after, or 5 years from now, versus today. And I feel like starting to think of your business that way is one of the best things that you can do. Because then what will happen is your next 5 years of business will be more fulfilling and profitable than you could have ever thought, but it also doesn't feel so bad. So like I equally, if someone signs up to be on my email list and they're like, hey, we're 3 years out from buying or selling, or we're never selling, that's okay. I'll continue to provide you value. I'll continue to follow up with you, check in and see if you need anything from me. And if you ever know of anybody who would, like maybe I'm your gal. Like that just feels so much better to me than the ups and downs of real estate. So I encourage you, if you are in a point where you're a new agent or a seasoned agent, to have all of the things in place to have people in a database and follow up with them consistently for the rest of your life.
Can I ask you a question, Molly?
Yeah.
So for these people, like let's say these people, you meet somebody or you run into somebody at a barbecue and they're like, hey, yeah, we might be selling in, I don't know, maybe 2 years. Like we have a little one, we want to wait till he's like getting closer to school age and then we're going to go ahead and sell. Would you have a separate newsletter or whatever that's going out to a buyer versus seller? Is it the same thing? Because this is what, I'll be honest, this is what I struggle with, because I am that person who has like a board in my office with names on it. And I'm like, oh, hopefully they come back around, because I have no steps in place to keep them kind of in my back pocket in case something, to keep them informed. So what kind of things are you sending 2 different things out for buyers or sellers, or is it just like one main thing? And then how often are you sending things out? Is it just the newsletter? Could you break some of that down for us?
Yeah. I'll just chat about that. That's kind of like the next 3 steps in this guidebook. But yeah, so I think first things first, I think having a whiteboard on and having everybody where you can see it is a great idea. I really think having some sort of database is super important for the longevity of your business. I can speak to that because I was not a database person. And especially when we got busy, I was like there's probably hundreds of thousands of commission dollars that could have came into me that were people that reached out on Instagram in the height of the market that I just was like, I don't have time to add you to a database. I don't have time to like follow up in 3 months. And actually yeah, like if you looked back, especially once you're kind of getting further into your career, and people that you've met that you haven't followed up with, it like starts to almost be like, ooh, I remember that one person that I just never kept in touch with. But so what I would say is start with database. I used an Excel or a numbers spreadsheet for a long time, and that worked fine for me. Currently we use Asana, which is not really a database. It's like a project management, but we had it built out to be kind of automated and work well for our specific business. But I would just say use any sort of database. Put every single person you meet into some sort of thing that you can track. And then every single person should have a task to follow up. So if it's those people that are 2 years out, follow up in 6 months, follow up in a year, follow up next year. And then the other things that I've started on was an email list. I don't know if you guys feel the way that I feel, but I talked to a coach like a year ago and he was like, you should really start an email list. And I was like, I hate getting emails. Like I don't want to give that to people. And I realized it was because I was like, I hate emails that aren't of value. I get emails from Jenna Kutcher. I don't know if any of you guys have her courses or follow her, but, and I like read them and I'm like, I like this better than social media. I like having something that gives me value. She'll give me tips on like how to grow my business or an email list or something. And I'm like, oh, people do want to hear from you. They just want to hear from you if you're giving them something that is important to their lives. So like email lists are great if you take the time to kind of cultivate them into what fits within your business. I might go into emails a little bit further, which is a little bit different than the question that you asked, but email lists. So I decided to do email lists. I'll share too another reason why I decided to do that. I went back, like I said, through every transaction that I had ever closed. And there were 4 people who bought with me. I like went through and like searched them up on MLS because a lot of addresses I didn't remember. There were 4 people that bought with me that were like referred to me, happy clients. We got along great. Like everything was perfect. They left a 5-star review that I saw sold with somebody else, like later down the road. And I realized that all of those people weren't of like the demographic on social media. So they were like probably older or just didn't spend their time there. And I was like, I bet if I had a way of just keeping in touch with people monthly, that maybe I would have popped up in their head when they went to sell and I wouldn't have lost out on 4 transactions. So that was kind of like what really put it into action for me to start an email list. But no, I have one, well, I have one for agents and then I have one for just typically my buyers and sellers. And I'm just sending out things on my email that provide value. So I share our listings before, like the day before we go to market, I'll share those and say, hey, we're having an open house with an ice cream truck. If you guys want to come by, share it with anyone you know. I know inventory is low, like feel free to share with anyone you know. Random things that I think of. There's like a couple templates in here that somebody could use, but just really think of who your target audience is and how you could provide them value. So like if you were like, okay, I want to focus on investors, start an email list where you send out investment properties on MLS that you would buy, or like things coming to your area that are investor friendly. Or, I mean, once you get specific, it's easy to think of ideas of what to send. But email lists have been an important thing for me to focus on this year. I also think they're a great way to get leads. I don't know if anybody wants me to touch on that more, but
I want you to touch on all of the things.
yeah.
I want all the help.
I get a lot of people like asking how to get leads, and I've never had to buy leads or anything like that. So it's hard for me to advise them, you know, where to get them because my business comes to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing too. You know, like Nikki and I have talked about this before, like we built a lot of our business based on social media. So,
Yeah.
you know, I teach what I know. So like I teach my agents and the people on our team the way that I know how to do business. I've never done the cold call. I've never done the door knocking. And I know you've taken a little bit of a step, Molly, into doing some of the door knocking stuff and doing some of the, not necessarily door knocking. Sorry, that's not the right term, but terrified face, not a door knock, but you're going door to door for your listings. And I know, I see Emily at the bottom, like on my side here. Emily has taken marketing to her neighborhood and farming her neighborhood in a different way. And I love what she's doing too. But yeah, if you want to maybe talk about how you're doing those things. And I mean, you share it on social media and I think it's so smart. I actually bought the little sourdough bowl thing and I do have a question about that. Like, do you just send the sourdough bowl or do you get like the little sourdough starter? Like, this is where my like analysis paralysis takes over.
Yeah. I'll start with lead generation because sourdough might be like, what are they talking
I don't know
about?
what I'm talking about.
I'll dig into lead generation and like you said, Nikki, like if people are trying to figure out how to lead generate. So I'm the same as you guys. I built my business off of Instagram primarily. I've never cold called. I've never door knocked. I've never done anything that didn't really feel great to me, which is what I encourage everyone to do. That's really why I say like dig into your brand and who your target audience is and come up with a plan from that, because you don't have to do those things and you can find something that like just feels organic to you. I think we were talking about using email to lead generate a little bit. So I was on a call with somebody a couple of days ago and I was trying to help them figure out like social media right now is a lot different than when I feel like I got a lot of business from it 5 years ago. I feel like then not everybody was an agent on social media. Most people were like older in suits doing open houses and calling expireds, like that was more popular. And now I feel like if you scroll through social media, it's like everyone is an agent posting the exact same things, posting those home buyer tips, like posting like a Canva graphic about like everybody's doing that and it's fine, but you probably feel like you don't stand out a ton. And so what I was telling her, actually, let me go back to, I'm going to share this because I feel like this kind of helps if anybody's struggling with social media and using that as your platform. This was like kind of, I feel like it makes it make sense really easily. But so with her, what I was saying is like, pick your target, pick one thing. I follow this girl on social media who is like the moving to Nashville realtor. So the only thing she posts about is moving to Nashville, like your guide to moving to Nashville, places you should move to in Nashville. And it's so specific that it clicks with you. So you're like, oh, that's the girl, like I'm even talking about her now because her Instagram is so specific on who she's marketing to and what she wants from her audience. She wants people who are moving from Nashville to connect with her. And I was explaining to somebody like that's how specific you need to be on social media right now. I always get questions like, how do you grow? Be specific. How do you grow? Tell the same message over and over again. So she keeps saying, if you're moving to Nashville, I'm your gal. If you're moving to Nashville, here's a neighborhood I like. And like people always tell me, well, if I'm too specific, like I work with just sellers and buyers too. And that's great. She still sprinkles in probably one in every 6 or 7 reels that she posts, like a listing I sold. I work with regular people in my community. But from a marketing standpoint, her message is really clear that like, I'm your gal. If you work in Nashville, if you're moving to Nashville, here I am. And then what you can do from that is, so I was talking about using email to lead generate. You can post like she has a link to a free guide about different neighborhoods to move into in Nashville. So when you click on that link on her profile, on her social media, you get a guide and in return you give your email. So you're giving value and collecting someone's email, and that's a lead. Those people were interested in communities in Nashville. Clearly, they wanted your guide. They wanted your guide enough to give you their email also, which is like, I don't want to give anyone my email because I just have to unsubscribe from like 50 things a day these days. So that's kind of what I was talking about using email to lead generate. Then what you do is you put those people in a, so I use Flowdesk. I don't know if anybody is familiar with Flowdesk, but it's just an email marketing website. It's super user friendly. I love it. If you're looking to do email, check that out. But then what you would do is you would start sending value. So, hey, I just toured this new community in Nashville. Did you know about this? A listing we have coming in this sub. And so like, doesn't it feel like marketing just makes a lot of sense and it's really easy to lead generate once you're specific? Because that's how it does to me. It's like, I could think of 1,000 things to post on social media about one thing about moving to that, and it's easy because it doesn't have to be anything like crazy or professionally filmed.
So I have a question for you. My issue with like being that specific is, I don't live in a big city. Nobody is visiting here just for fun, like Nashville or New York, or like nobody moves here intentionally. They're maybe relocated due to work because it's a very like blue collar area. And our price point, our median price point is very low. So I feel like if I'm that specific, I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot because I already have to do, say 50 or more transactions in order to make a good living because our average sales price is like 200,000.
Then that's not your thing. But
Okay.
you just mentioned a couple of things. So moving to your city would not be the way that I would suggest for you to market to your people,
Right.
because you're telling me that's not your target audience and that's not where your past sales have come from. The first two things that I usually dig into. But if you told me my past 50% of my past sales were people who had a job raise or got a raise in their job who already lived here, that's kind of a boring one to think about. But it's like, okay, then where do we find those people?
Mm-hmm.
This is really stupid too, but you're like, you get a list of people who just got a raise or who had kids, who, like, if your target audience is people who already live there or who maybe are just moving for jobs, then I would be like, okay, well, what jobs are they taking that bring them here? Like, maybe I go to those people and I put a home buyer class at that place.
Mm-hmm.
Or what's triggering people to upsize or downsize here? How do I market to those people? You know?
Got it. Good idea. Thank you.
Isn't that so much easier?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if anyone wants to give an example of like where those two things, we can even dig in together, because I feel like it helps other people the more that you elaborate on that. But like,
Well,
just
like
in,
I've noticed, so I've talked about this on some of our other masterminds. Like I fell into this like relocation niche like unintentionally. So I started getting a ton of relocation business. In fact, I would say this year it's almost 100% is relocation, people moving here. And it's not relocation companies, it's relocation, people finding me on Google, Instagram, whatever, and they're all moving here or moving away. So it's been a niche that it just kind of came out of nowhere. So now I'm like, okay, well, I feel like I kind of have to run with this. So
100%.
I'm trying to come up with some ideas on different ways to work the relocation side of things into things. So we've added a huge section of relocation on my website, which is where Google leads everybody. It's, I'm working on videos and graphics and stuff for relocation to the area to really try to like hone in on these people who are moving to the area. So I changed my bio on Instagram. Like I've changed all my stuff. Like I'm the relocation person that you want if you're moving to this area. And I mean, it's definitely worked out. I mean, my next goal is to start doing more YouTube videos, which has been my goal for 2 years, but I want to do more YouTube to where it's all about relocating to the area. And it's about, why you want to live here. My area is definitely different than Nikki's though. So that's where it's a little bit hard, because I have people relocating here for the hospital, for the university, like for all this stuff. So like we have a lot of people coming and going, whereas Nikki's definitely in a smaller area. So it's harder for us to kind of like collaborate on some of these things. But like I feel like when you figure out where your stuff is coming from or what's working for you, and then you can kind of dive a little deeper on that.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys should have two completely different marketing lead generation plans, because you've told me both of your business comes from completely different places and they're different types of people. So that's why when everyone's like, well, just do open houses, just do cold calling, door knock, it's like that doesn't make sense for most people's business because that's not their people. So yeah, like exactly for you, you should figure out. And what I like is you're like, I changed my social media, I changed all these things. And if you just now posted on social media that you do relocation client, you got that specific on your message, you would grow really quickly. I'm sure it's kind of what you're doing, but and it's totally okay, because my thing has changed so many times over my business. So it's not like just because this year you're the relocation person, like that next year, if you don't want to be that, you can, but just go with what works. So if you're telling me now 100% of my business comes from that, cool, dive in, like do as much as you can for that now. And if things start to change, which they will, dive into that too. And you can have different sectors if you want to keep growing, or you can just change completely. Like if you looked at my social media 8 months ago, it was like, maybe let's say like 9, 10, it was like buying an Airbnb. That was what I posted for 6 months straight. And what did I get? It was because I had a lot of clients doing that. And what did I get? More clients who wanted to buy Airbnbs. And now, right now, all that I'm posting is agent help, or why I'm the best listing agent, or why I'm the best aid, like helping other people to make it look like I'm the best in my market. And that's what I'm getting is listings. And then I'm also getting obviously agent followers right now, but that's all intentional. So you can
Well,
change it whenever you want.
yeah, and I talk to agents about this all the time. Like, I mean, I'm in my 5th year, and my target audience has changed almost every year. So, you
Yeah.
know, in the beginning, you're like targeting new home buyers because you're new, they're new. Like, it's just it's a natural progression. It makes sense. Then it was like, okay, now it's more move up buyers. Then it
Yeah.
was, you know, and that, I mean, it was kind of like the same throughout the first. I still work with a lot of first time home buyers. I still work with move up buyers. I have my first person who I helped buy a house, and now they want to sell it. So this is my first like person turning around and coming back. And I mean, that feels good that they came back to us because they trust us, you know, they trust me and they liked all the stuff. So I have my like packet to go. I'm going there right after this call. So, you know, and then now with this relocation thing, it's just progressed. So in a year, I could be helping those older people that you were talking about earlier. I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
it can really transform your business, and just kind of going with the flow of things and seeing what's working.
Yeah. And I guess I want to reiterate, like, don't be afraid to be specific. Because like you said, even it's like my marketing right now is all to agents. I mean, agents are really listings right now, but I still have people who have followed me for the last 2 years or 3. Like, it doesn't stop people from reaching out for you for things that they know that you do well also. And that's why I say, like, from a social media strategy, if I were telling you or somebody else who said that they wanted, like, it would be 6 of your posts should be about relocation, 1 should be a general post, or maybe 2 should be a general post. Like, be really specific and then remind people that you do regular sales, which should happen naturally anyway. Or use different things. Like, I found for reels, growing agent, like growing, being specific on one market is the way to grow. And then, like, on my stories, my people who already follow me and know me, I can talk about things that are just general or broad, or like, you know, share with them when I'm doing a buyer that I helped, a seller that I helped. But everything should be strategic somewhat.
Do you feel like since you've started structuring your Instagram more towards agents and helping agents, that it's impacted anything in your business with clients?
I think because I tell people, it's almost like tell me without telling me. So when I'm telling people, here's 10 things that I would do for my listings, or here's 10 things that we do that you should implement in your business for our listings, my target audience of sellers are saying, oh, wow, she does all that for her listings. Or wait, my agent didn't do that for our listing, or like, so no, I feel like for now they work well together. But I'll definitely start to taper off. Like, no, I don't think it holds me back. If anything, I think people comment on, like, oh, wow, you're helping other agents. That's so cool. You seem like an industry, like, you know, your industry well.
Yeah.
But I'll trickle out of that, you know, with that led me to think, like, I'm getting a lot of listings because of that. So then I'll just market heavily on listings and really go after that, because that's what's naturally progressing through that. But no, I wouldn't assume that then I won't get any buyer leads. But also, it's longevity. I've been in this 8 years. So it's like, I've been telling people for literally 8 years, I do real estate. And I'll continue to tell people for the next 8 years, like, I do real estate. Here's just what I'm into right now. Does anybody else have questions? I feel like it flows better when it connects to people versus me just spewing at you guys. If not, I can just keep running through this.
Yeah, go ahead. I think, because I think coming up here, you have some of your smart ideas that I love about what you're doing to get get more listings, because Lord knows we all want listings. Having all these buyers, it's like, whew, it's overwhelming.
Sorry, I'm just going to keep scrolling. That just went over pretty much everything that we've talked about.
This is why you guys need to buy this program, or buy her guide and her program, because it is so good.
And I also give a lot of similar info just free on my social media.
Mhm.
If you're not in the market. Wait, sorry, I'm just trying to find where I go to listings. You want to talk about listing marketing?
Yeah.
I'll talk about this really quick. For social media, I feel like everybody's kind of interested in learning more about social media. Especially relocation, anything like that. People use social media now as a search engine tool, as everybody here probably already knows. But what I use it for, and what I see a lot of people using it for, is also for referrals. So like if I have a referral in Long Beach, I'll go on Instagram and I'll search Long Beach agent. I'll scroll through the people who would, the For You page, and I'll see who like looks like a good fit for my client. And then what I have realized is people aren't clear on their social media about who they are, what they do, where they work. And so I was doing this the other day and I was like, I had to go through like 7 people to see if it was an agent that was actually doing business. It was an agent that so I realized, make sure on your bio that you are very clear on where you do, and because it's the same for buyers and sellers using Instagram to search for you also. So your bio should say who you are. You should tell me that you do business. You should tell me where you work. And then you should have a link to other things that provide value. So on her page, she had obviously a bio, tell me where you are. If you want to link things though, what she had for me, which was really nice, was a link to her closings that she's done, a link to her reviews from her clients, her website, a guide to something that was important to her business, a link to work with her. And so I realized like, okay, this is probably the exact same way that buyers are looking at us. So make sure you're giving the information that people would need to be able to work with you. So that's why on mine here, I have Zillow reviews. I mentioned that I'm a top agent in my city where I work. So if you looked at just from looking at my profile, you're like, oh, she does business. I also have my reviews. So you can say, oh, she does business and she does, people like working with her. A website you can go to, a link to work with me. It should be that easy from your social media because that's where so many leads are coming from. Also, please use hashtags to tag where you are, because that's the easiest way for people to find you. So if you're not tagging on every single post that I do, pretty much, I'm tagging Scottsdale Realtor, Phoenix Realtor, Arizona Realtor, because when someone's searching for that, if they're looking for a realtor, that's probably what they're searching. And like, look, when you search for that, there I am on the first page, the biggest one, like, that's how people find me. That's where a lot of my businesses come from. So I know that that works. So make sure you do that. That's the easiest, like 2 things you could go home and do that would potentially bring you business.
And it does work. I mean, I had just this weekend, I've got 2 referrals from Instagram, people who found me on Instagram because
Yep.
they were looking for an agent in the area and they found me. It was easy to find. They could see all my info, easy to contact, all the stuff right there.
And people make a decision that quick. If I have someone asking me for a referral in Lake Tahoe, I'm literally going straight to Instagram, searching Lake Tahoe agent, finding the first 5 people that look okay, filtering them down, messaging that person, sending my client the referral. So if you're not easy to find as a referral and you're not easy to vet, change that, because you'll, especially in like smaller cities or even bigger cities where other people aren't doing that, that is the easiest way to get business that you have to do nothing for. Also your highlights and everything should also do the same thing. So like in my highlights, I have client reviews, I have random things that just give you a feel for who I am. Like not everything has to be real estate related. I want people to feel like they would want to grab a glass of wine when I'm not pregnant with me, like go shopping with me and use me as a realtor. I don't want it to just be like house I sold, house I sold, house I sold. And we'll go to listings after that. Let me just get there. Working with buyers, we can all do that. Listings, I've had a lot of people reach out to me lately and say like, I have to get this listing appointment. They're interviewing 3 other agents. How do I do it? Like, and I'll be like, what's your value? I think the key to being a good listing agent is just doing a little bit more than everybody else in your market. I don't think there's anything that you have to do that's crazy or expensive that will make you stand out. I think it's just like saying, here's what I do that's 3 steps more than the other person you interviewed. And most of that is marketing. When I've gone on listing appointments in the last couple months, it's been like, okay, well, how are you marketing our property? That's something that I hear consistently. I don't know if you guys do, which I didn't hear before. In the height of the market, it was just like, when can you get my house listed, or like, how much can you sell it for? And now I think people are more so like, what is your value? There are a lot of agents to choose from. And I know that things aren't just selling as quickly as they were. So when I was rebuilding, I realized I'm not as confident as I should be in a listing appointment, because I don't know what my value is. Like, I don't know what my process is. And so like, does anyone here have a firm process that they go through every time they list a house? Probably.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely have my way of doing it all. I think it's pretty good what I do. I think it could be improved. I mean, I think that's kind of why, we always want to do better and do a little bit more, but I have a pretty standard process for what I do.
Cool. So like, if you go on a listing appointment, someone says, how are you going to market my home? Or what do? You should be able to say, I do these 10 things every single time. This is what I'm doing that other people aren't doing. And it should be like so clear. And I realized I didn't have that. So I wrote out, okay, what is our standard for listing? What are we going to do every single time? What are the things that will make me just seem a little bit better than maybe the next person that they're not doing? So I'll share all of that with you, what we do. Obviously we start with professional photos and videos. So we do top of the line photos and we do video for every single listing, no matter the price. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through these templates. You don't need any of these. No matter the price. I also just thought of a cool thing. So we do one with our face. We do one for YouTube, social, MLS. We can't have our face in it here. So we do one blank one, and then I do one blank one in real format. And now I send it out to my brokerage and I say, if anybody wants to share our listing, here's a blank listing, use a green screen and put your face over it. Like, do with it what you want, market or help us market. We do Facebook ads. So Facebook ads, I feel like, is an easy way to say, I pay to market your listing without spending much money. You can spend $80, $50, $20, whatever you want. When I go to a listing appointment, I say, hey seller, I pay to advertise your listing to targeted people on Facebook. Some people don't do that. We also do mail marketing. So we send out 500 postcards to all of the neighbors of our listings, just letting them know that there's a listing coming soon in their market, asking them to share with anybody that they know moving into the neighborhood, and inviting them to our open house. This costs us $100. We have our title company print them for free, and we have a company drop them door to door. Most people aren't saying I'm mailing to 500. Some people are, but like, I'm mailing to 500 people, inviting them to your open house and letting them know about listing.
Is the company that's delivering them, is it a local company or?
Yeah, he's a veteran that drops them door to door by himself. It's literally $100 for 500 flyers.
Wow, that's cheap.
If you mail, like if you actually postage mail, it's a lot more expensive. But you don't have to do 500. You could drop them off yourself and do 50. Or I found if you're doing postage mail, every door direct is usually the cheapest route.
Yeah. I always get, like, again, the analysis paralysis. Like, how does that work? Do I have to like bring a stack in and have them do it, or how does that all work? I don't know.
Yeah. I think if you just like, I found this person, they literally pick it up from my title company. I tell them where they want it and they do it. And because of that, because I just like figured it out before I needed it, now it's easy to do, but I get it. It's like, how do I pull the names of like people's addresses? We also email it. I already mentioned this, email all of our listings to our entire database. I'm actually, if you guys want me to touch on, I'll tell you. One minute, exit out of this, and I'll just bring up our listing thing. don't read this because I just started editing it and I'm not done, but this is basically what we do. What I tell every seller that we do every single time. So whenever the mailers, whenever
Oh,
Facebook ads,
it's not showing up.
oh, I think it's still loading. Hold on.
Oh, okay. I thought it was maybe showing up on your end, but not ours.
Mm. And we have an hour, right?
Yeah, we're just at the hour mark now. So, but we can go over if you're, I mean, you can keep going.
I'll just share this and then we could finish out with that if anyone has questions. It's being really slow, but I'll share it as soon as I can. I'll just go through everything still. I have in our listing marketing presentation that we post on social media and I share, okay, this is one way that we get your listing seen by 15,000 people or however many people typically your reels go to. But also boosting a reel is a really easy way to be like, hey, we boost advertise for your listing. Here we go. I think it might work. We do 2D and 3D floor plans. I don't know if you guys have people in your market that do those. I post our video to YouTube, which takes me 2 seconds. I already have the video, but I tell a seller, hey, I boost to YouTube. I put your video on YouTube. And then the bread bowls, the sourdough bread bowls that we're talking about. We drop off a gift to the 10 or 12 closest neighbors. I used to do, it was something that said like, we need like KNEAD, your help. And it was a sourdough bread kit with a flyer of the listing and just said, we need your help. If you know anyone looking to move into the neighborhood, please share. There we go. And then what else? I think we went through most of it. Hold on. I'll just share this and then we can be done. I go through our photos. I go through our professional video. Oops, I'm going backwards now. I go through our print marketing. I go through our social media and how those get views. I already have that. I don't know. I keep going backwards.
Molly, do you do the same print marketing every time or do you change it up per house?
I do the same thing every time. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably change it in like 6 months or a couple months when I get tired of it. But I've just found like the easier I keep things, I'm promising someone on this that I'm doing that. So I do it, but it takes me 2 seconds. I change out the open house time. I change out the address. I send it to print and I don't think about it again. I felt like I would get like almost like frozen and trying to make all these things I don't know, for me in my business, keeping things simple and the same makes it easier. Like our closing gifts, I do the same exact gift every time. I buy them in bulk. I keep them like that made it eat like, I don't know, just for everything. It's like, if I do the same thing, I know what I have to do. On Canva, actually, you can make a personal website for the listing. So I do that for our listings now. So you can tell the seller, your home has its own website people can click on and I share through a QR code. Super easy to do all through Canva. I do the gifts and then I say we do a mega open house because we've advertised it to 500 people. We advertise on social media. We just make it a little bit more than what other people are doing. We do 3D tours. We do 2D tours. We do paid Facebook ads. We do email marketing. And that's kind of the end of all that I had for that. But like with listings, it's just saying like, hey, I do a little bit more than anyone else.
I love that.
Yeah. And that's probably all I got to keep it within an hour. But if anyone has questions, I'm happy to answer questions. If you need help figuring out your target audience or your lead generation strategy, happy to chat.
So I'll ask you a question here. So, and maybe you can help us with this. So myself and Maria and Corinne, who Maria just turned her camera off, but we opened there she is again. We recently opened a office in our area and it's a very niche market. So this area, I shouldn't even say niche market. It's a very cliquey area where there's certain brokerages you work at, and that's who gets the majority of the listings in this area. So we are trying to create kind of like a modern, like Maria's got the background, like our modern living collective. We want like modern marketing, modern ideas of doing things differently than what these agents have been doing for the last 50 years. So we want to change things up a little bit. Now, we want to obviously market to sellers in the area, potential buyers in the area. How would you, like, if you were in our position, what type of things would you be doing to like really push out this like new idea of, you know, because there's a ton of people in this area who'll be selling $800,000 houses with cell phone photos. And like, it's the bane of my existence. And like, I want to try to get to these people and let them know, like, we have these modern marketing techniques that other people aren't doing. And a lot of these bigger names in the area, they get the listings because people know their name. They've seen their signs. So we want to be that person. So we're trying to figure out how we can market to this area to really grow our business, grow our team, and just, you know, become a household name.
Are you trying to grow your agent count and have them provide that message, or are you trying to keep your agent count and target just people who want to sell?
Both, but we really, I mean, I think we want to really market to the potential buyers and sellers in the area.
Okay, so let's just say sellers, because I feel like if we just two different marketing strategies, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I think sellers for sure, because we want to have our signs in the yard. So yeah. Sellers for sure.
So what I would start with is probably making sure every single one of my agents had a really clear and specific marketing plan. So like for me, probably if I were you, I would say everyone has the same sign, the same flyer, the same campaign first, like their marketing plan for their listings are all the same. So that all of a sudden your brand standard as a company is that we do this. And then also the more people that see, oh, that's that company, regardless of the agent, they do a really good job, the more that you're building that brand to start. I would make sure it was well known that everything that we did was better than what other agents are doing. So I would post similarly to how I've been posting with like, hey, we do these things to get you more money as a seller. Hey, these things we do for any price point of our listings, no matter what. Here's the ways that we're marketing our listings better than other people. I would start to post that over and over and over and over again. And then if I were taking it to like mail marketing or print or advertisement, I would say the message I would be sending, a guy in our brokerage here, he does expireds and he does luxury expireds, and he does like on linen paper, like your luxury listing deserves luxury marketing, that kind of thing. And I would just start putting out there everywhere that everything that you do is more luxurious than other agents.
Got it.
Yeah. And then if you were like targeting seller, I mean, not saying you should go after expireds, but you could figure out like what specifically, like which kind of sellers or where, and then kind of just continue that. But I would just start saying all over the place, other agents aren't luxurious, we're the most luxurious person. Not in that way, not don't dig at other agents, but like
right. Well, I mean, I think that there's a way to say, because I mean, I have gone to many appointments where a listing has sat and they're like, yeah, well, you know, my agent didn't really do much or whatever. And I said, well, the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to do professional photos, because and she goes, oh yeah, my agent just did cell phone photos and they weren't very good. And I said, I know, that's probably why it sat, you know? So it's not necessarily a dig at the other agent, but it's also like, this is my standard. Who, you know, be sure that who you're choosing, this is our standard. So if somebody's telling you can upgrade to professional photos if you want or whatever, like this is our standard, this is what we do. And I know Maria and Corinne are on the same page with me on this. Like we, and Emily too, she's on here too. Like we do things a certain way, and we're working on developing this for the team because it's a newly formed team that we want like across the board, the same experience for all of our clients and all of our whole group. So I appreciate your information here. I mean, I think that's helpful for even everybody on this call too, like how you can focus in on sellers, because we all need them. So this is a
And we all
great
wanna
way.
be, yeah, we all
What'd
want
you
to be the best. I mean, we all want to be
Yeah.
the best too for our clients. And you could do that too in like making sure you have for every single agent on your team that their open houses have the exact same like kits, like you have an open house kit. So like if someone comes into your open house, it's starting there. They're like, oh, this is luxury, like this is better than other ones I've been to because of these things. But I would just, if you did 6 months of just saying, we're the best, here's why, everybody's gonna start to say they're the best, this is why.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I've been trying to do in a not so serious way, but also I'm making decisions differently because that's the marketing plan that I have. So like I'm paying to stage some of our listings because I want to say to everyone, this is why that we're the best. And that's not something that will continue on for forever. But if I'm trying to set that tone to our business, it's like all of our listings show up amazing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's purposeful because that's what I'm trying to do in my business.
Yeah, I've worked with some agents before who have said like, I virtually stage all of my listings, and I just don't love virtual staging. I mean, it works in some situations. I don't love it all the time, but it's something that she said that she does differently, because that's always a question. Do I need staging? And so, or do you think I should stage? I stage my own houses. I know Nikki stages a lot of her own houses. I've used stagers for certain things, like, and I'm very open, I think, with my clients too, and say, hey, listen, like, I think we should bring in some stuff. I feel like we need to just zhuzh the place up a bit. And, like, depending on what it is, like if it needs a full house of furniture, then, we're bringing in the big dogs, but I can handle a lot of it based on the stuff I have. So I think that's something different. I don't think that there's a lot of agents who do anything like that in our market. I think it's a majority. It's either staged or not. So,
yeah,
it's like you're either fully staged or you're not.
and sorry, and I'm not telling people they should pay to stage their listings by any means. But yeah, like even if you just offered, well, we can virtually stage, or I think you should stage. I'm telling you that to get your money.
You
But
can
yeah.
do, so I've done this also, and you could, if you have a stager that you work with, here's a idea for people. If you have a stager that you work with, you can offer a consultation. So a consultation's like $100, and you pay the consultation fee. They have the stager come in, they can work out a budget, they can work out whatever it is, and then you look like the hero because you're paying for the consultation. And if they choose not to do it, they choose not to do it. But in the end,
Exactly.
you're telling them, hey, if we stage this house and it shows beautifully, you're going to get more money. So it's worth the $1,500 or $2,000 it's going to cost to have somebody come in and do this stuff. So it's up to you. I mean, it depends on your price point too. If your price point's higher and you know that this is what helps and you have stats to show that, then that's, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, but even just saying like on a listing appointment, saying we pay to have a consultation with a stager if that's something that you want to do. It's just like all those little things add up, and that costs you $100. So yeah, just be the best.
I bring a cleaner into all of my sellers. I pay for a cleaner to come to all of my listings, because most of, like, I'd say 98% of my listings are stressed out moms or people divorcing. And when I tell them that, you focus on decluttering, I'm going to bring in a cleaner to focus on cleaning, it's like you can see their shoulders just, oh my God, that's so amazing. Oh my God, thank you.
And that could be the difference of, I've had it. That could be the difference of you and someone else getting a listing. Also listening to what your people want, which is the most important part of what you just said. Like your people are stressed out. $100 paying a fee to have a stager come in would stress them out more. So like knowing your target audience and saying, this is something that maybe would put me ahead of somebody else. Yeah, there was agents in Arizona that their like full marketing plan was that they paid for a landscape cleanup and a clean before, like, as their listing. And this was like years ago, but I swear they got, like, you'd want to listen to it and they'd be like, well, these people pay to clean and landscape, like, do you do that? So it's like, that's such a little, it probably cost them $500, but that's something that's important to some people.
Well, I think when you think about the house and you think about the sale of the house, like goes down to developing who you're working with, your niche, like what are their concerns. Emily knows they're stressed out, moms and families, or they're going through divorce, they're stressed out. They don't want to deal with all the things. So what can we take off their plate? If you're selling a $400,000 house, you're going to get, a $12,000, $15,000 commission. So in the scheme of things, $500 is nothing. So you pay that $500, have that cleaner come in, have that landscape guy come and weed the front garden so you don't have to worry about it, or the flower beds. And, all of a sudden you look like a hero to them, because it's one last thing that they have to worry about in the whole scheme of selling and buying and all that stuff. It's we all know it's so stressful. So what can we do to stand out and make things better?
Yeah. And that's like literally how easy if you knew, hey, this is consistent across the board for all of my sellers, that they're stressed out, they don't want to, like, you can literally just dig into that as your social media strategy. Are you like, home buying doesn't have to, or home selling doesn't have to be stressful. We pay to clean. Like, literally it can be that simple, the message that you're sending, if you know that it's something that works too.
Yeah, Emily, even in your listing appointments, I mean, you probably do something similar, like, hey, listen, I understand how it is to buy and sell with kids and going through this stuff. A lot of my clients love the fact that I bring in a cleaner for the whole house. So right before photos, we send in a cleaner, and I bet that they just are like, what? Like, if somebody told me that they were going to come and clean my house, you're hired immediately.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't had, I guess this year I've had more, but every single time I'd say, you know what, I'm going to bring in a cleaner. We're going to let the cleaner clean. It's like, I cannot believe you do that. That's amazing. That's so awesome. Thank you. And I think it might cost me like $150.
Yeah.
I need to know who your cleaner is, Emily, if it's $150.
The 2,900 square foot one I had was a little bit more than that, but still, yeah, she's awesome.
No, ours are like, we do that a lot too. And I'm like, $350. Okay.
Closer to 3 sounds right.
I made the mistake. I'll tell you guys, one of the mistakes I made one time was I hired this like cheap cleaning company to come. Sorry, I'm trying to put a stamp on an envelope. This cheap cleaning company to come through and clean my listing. Let me tell you, I showed up to do photos and I spent an hour cleaning because they did the worst job ever. They did not clean half the stuff that they said they were going to clean. I ended up getting my money back, but I was so upset because I was like trying to make this so much easier for everybody, and it just did not make anything easier. But anyways, let's wrap this up. Did you want to talk about how people can buy your course and all that stuff really quick before we end things?
Yeah, if I'd say follow me on social media. It's linked in my bio if anybody wants to. I think I did a promo code. Didn't I? Did I tell you 50%?
Yeah, you did. Let me go back to our messages. Sorry.
I think
you did a promo code, I believe, of Modern Agent. So let me go back and find it.
Yeah. But like I said, I know a lot of people are kind of cutting back on spending right now. A lot of the info I give through my social media too. I'll put that in the comments in case anybody wants.
Yeah, I can't find it now. Maybe it was in the email. Yeah, I do believe you did a promo code of Modern Agent. Let me find you here, Molly.
Here, I can pull it up in my account.
Yeah, I can't find it. Sorry.
That's fine. I have it right here. Or someone can just message me also if they need it, if they want to go.
Well, thank you so much, you guys. I highly, highly, highly recommend digging into your brand, digging into your business. I feel like I have done a lot of coaching and a lot of programs, a lot of things. I feel like you've done a really nice job. I want to just let you know, I feel like you've done a really good job at this. And it breaks down steps that I haven't seen broken down in other trainings. So thank you for that. I really like what you've done here, and I can't wait to dig in. I was telling somebody the other day, I'm like, I just have to get into this because there's so much stuff I want to do. And I've loved a lot of the marketing and the stuff that you've done that I've seen on social media. I've taken a lot of the things that you've done and implemented, and it's been great. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep helping us agents because we love it.
Yeah.
If you guys are not following her, please do. And what's here, let me type in your thing really quick. It's Molly Realty. That's your IG. So follow her. Oh, you already put it in there. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Anyways, thank you all for showing up, and thanks for joining us. And let's be the best in our areas, and we can use Molly's help with that.
Cool. Yeah.
Right.
Good luck everyone with your business. And if you need anything, always feel free to reach out.
Thank you. And then next week we'll be back on here. Let me look see who we have next week. Next week we have Altavia Little, who Nikki met at a realtor convention. She's going to be on. You want to just do like a quick snippet about who she is?
So I met her at she's the president of Women's Council of Realtors in her state. And she talked about how she got creative funding for investing in real estate. So she didn't use any of her own money to build her portfolio.
Was she the one that spoke at Level Up?
No, different lady.
I literally just met her last week. So I was very impressed by her. So we'll see what she has to say.
Amazing. Can't wait to see her next week. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you again, Molly.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
I adore you. Bye.